Thou wouldst survive longest as a Night Blade. Wilt thou accept this as thy destiny? No. I already know what I want to be. I'm going to play as a bard, because I'm best at that. See, that thing isn't very good at deciding what your playstyle would be. It's more for deciding the personality of a character. My playstyle, I like to have stealth and magic rolled into one, and a bard is very good for that. In fact, it's the only thief class that can cast spells. What will be thy name, bard? Okay, I better stop doing that. I choose the name Fallen Tree Shade. That's an Argonian name, shut up. Choose thy gender! Yep, I was right, male. From where dost thou hail, Fallen Tree Shade the Bard? Now I picked an Argonian name, so I can only really hail from the Black Marsh. Thou hast chosen Black Marsh, land of the Argonians. Wouldst thou accept this as thy home? Then thou wilt be known as the Bard Fallen Tree Shade, who wouldst call Black Marsh, land of the Argonians, his home. Know ye this also! Thy race is born of the swamps. Thou hast stayed thyself from the open fields, for thou art hunters of a different sort, those who stalk thy prey in the still, black waters. Thy body and mind must be intelligent and personable if thou art to succeed as a bard. Go ye now in peace. Let thy fate be written in the Elder Scrolls. What I don't like about that character selection thing is it doesn't tell you what the stats for a race are until after you've chosen it, or in fact what race hails from what homeland until after you've chosen it. But let's just get to this. Now, intelligence and personification. However, you also want a good amount of willpower as a bard, because if you're going to cast spells, you're going to need as many skill points as possible. And also, it increases your magic defense. Blech. Sorry. Now, personality is also important as a bard, as they pointed out, so this is an insultingly low score, so I'm going to pump that up first. Let's say 55. Now, let's bring intelligence up to 60. And let's bring up luck, just for fun. That affects everything you do in a small way. And I think I can live with these beginning stats. Remember, at the beginning of the game, you're a beginner, so you shouldn't expect to be like a super talented person. Thou wilt now choose thy appearance. Thy mien canst be altered by clicking thy face. When thou art finished, select Done to enter the world of Tamriel, home of the arena. Yep, basically you just choose your face. A couple of them look kind of weird, a couple of them look a bit too flash. I like this one here at the beginning because it suits my personality most. Crazy hairstyle for a crazy person. I love you! I'm in love with you! No, just kidding. But seriously, if you read her lips, it looks like she's saying, I love you, love me, hold me. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Do not fear, for it is I, Rhea Selmain, Fallen Tree Shade. Listen to me. There are no others left to carry on this fight. You have been left in this cell to die. Jagar Tharn, Imperial Battle Mage of Tamriel, has taken on the guise of the true Emperor. He does not see you as a threat, being only a minor part of the Imperial Court. In that act of arrogance, he has made his first mistake. Look to the north wall of this cell. You will find a ruby key, which will unlock the door. Take it, and make your escape. The passages here were once used by Tharn to hide treasures he had stolen from the Emperor's coffers. If you wish, you can gather enough to support yourself away from the Imperial seat. Be careful. There are many creatures which inhabit the sewers now, vile rats and goblins. It is too late for me, for I am already dead. Only my powers as a sorceress keep me between this life and the next. That power, however, is waning. Do not succumb to greed, or you may find these tunnels to be your final resting place as well. I can still work my magic to a certain extent. If you travel west from this cell, then south, you will find a shift gate. It will transport you far enough from the center of the Empire that you should be safe. If you survive these sewers, you will see me again. Remember, Fallen Tree Shade, Tharn has taken on the guise of the Emperor. No one will gainsay his word for yours. I will come to you again in your dreams, for it is imperative that you rest from time to time. In that way, I will be able to communicate with you and lend my aid. You are entering a dangerous arena, my friend, one in which the players are beings beyond your mortal comprehension. I do not envy your role. There is, however, within you a power that has yet been untapped. Look for me when you have gained experience in the world. You are my last and best hope. And thus, the adventure begins! Now, one small complaint I want to make before I even leave the cell: the controls suck. It's a combination of keyboard and mouse, which is good for its time, but the arrow keys and the mouse at the same time. Keep in mind that the majority of people will be controlling the keyboard with their left hand and the mouse with their right. Also keep in mind that the arrow keys are on the right side of the keyboard, which means you have to either bend your hand into a really awkward position or turn the keyboard, which in my case is attached to the monitor, so my view is now distorted. Thanks a lot, Bethesda! Still, it's their first game, and honestly it was a very experimental project, so bear with it. Now, don a weapon because your hands are worthless. I mean, they're not worthless. It's just that I've heard that there's this glitch that actually causes the game to crash if you use your bare hands. I have no idea why, and it's never happened to me, but better safe than sorry. Wait a minute, didn't the lady say west and then south? Oh, forget it. Ah! Goblin! Ah! Yep, okay, that's the monsters in this game. Ooh, a staff. As a bard, I can't use a staff, but oh well. Now, you may have noticed that my cursor flailed around when I was fighting that thing. Yeah, the controls in here are a little bit unconventional. To attack, you right-click and then drag in certain directions. And how much damage you do is affected by what kind of attack that you choose: a swipe, a chop, a thrust, etc. Manipulate objects by clicking on them. Now, those buttons at the bottom also have keyboard shortcuts. Well, most of them. Now, for example, cast, or C, is the button for this. So I'm going to C, or cast, fire... Oh. I was going to cast Fire Dart, but apparently I don't have enough spell points. Oh well. At least my sword is long enough, even though it's a short sword! Now, the controls get really annoying when you have to jump. To do this, you push the J button. The J button. And to jump forward, you push Shift and then J. Now think about this. Is there any time at all in a game like this you would want to jump straight up and not forward and up? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, the jumping mechanics are totally broken in this game, and I swear if DOSBox's CPU cycles aren't set high enough, sometimes it won't even register. Oh, while I'm doing this, let me point out swimming. See how fast I'm swimming? That's because I'm an Argonian. You swim really fast if you're not an Argonian. And also you drown a lot faster too, so... 69 gold pieces, a belt, a long sword, and a torque. Yeah, a torque. And it's not a misspelling of torch either, because it doesn't provide any kind of light whatsoever. I don't know what a torque is. Seriously, use words that people understand. This ain't Shakespeare. I can't don on a long sword. I can, however, put on a belt and a torque. Torque is. And I can't tell because it doesn't change the portrait of the character in the inventory screen. What do you know? Hidden door. I think I'm lost. And normally I like to play with the buttons, but just for the sake of the LP, I'll try and act like an actual 1990s player and use the keyboard. The keyboard shortcut for the map is M. And let's see, I started off here, so if I just swim over to here, I can go right back to where I started. This dungeon is very unforgiving for new players. Wait, did I just levitate over the... What the... Okay, I'm gonna have to go look at that playback, because I'm pretty sure I just levitated over the water for some reason. Anyway, this dungeon is notorious for being very unforgiving to new players, and I died a couple of times when I first started out. But if you have some experience and you know what you're doing, you won't have too much trouble. Die! Die, foul beast! Whoops. I accidentally used the use magical object button. Okay, sure, let's see what this crystal does. Pick spell target. Holy crap! That was pretty cool.